Hello everyone, welcome to Crystal Diaries. Now this is another video of the series of videos relating to law of contracts in India. Well, this is the second part of consideration in contract. The first part has already been discussed in the previous video. If you haven't checked, go and check. So we can move to the second part of the consideration, wherein we are discussing about the exceptions to consideration. Well, before beginning, like I always say, please bring your Bare Act, your notebook and pen so that we can read the Bare Act simultaneously and important points can be noted down whatever comes in this discussion. So let's begin. So first let us recapitulate whatever we have learned regarding consideration. So consideration has been defined in section 2D of the Contract Act, which says when at the desire of the promiser, the promisee or any other person has done or abstained from doing or does or abstains from doing or promises to do or to abstain from doing something, such act or abstinence or promise is called a consideration for the promise. Well, we have read this in our previous video and we also learned that where there is no consideration, there can be no contract, right? So, no consideration equals no contract. But there are exceptions. In this video, we are going to deal with this, and the most important section in this regard is section 25. So let us learn what section 25 says. So section 25 says an agreement made without consideration is void unless it has given three distinct things. We are going to read them one by one. It is expressed in writing and registered under the law for the time being in force for the registration of documents and is made on account of natural love and affection between parties standing in a near relation to each other. The first thing. So if you are transferring one thing to another out of natural love and affection, okay, so if your father gives you he gives you a car, so is he taking money from you? No, he is not taking money from you, but he has to give it in writing and he has to register that, because in India when we buy such expensive things and we transfer it to another person, we have to write them and we have to register those things. So obviously your father can gift you that out of natural love and affection, but he has to give it in writing and he has to register the same. Now what is the second part? Or unless it is a promise to compensate wholly or in part a person who has already voluntarily done something to the promiser or something which the promiser was legally compellable to do. This means that in this case, here the promise was to compensate. So if someone is compensating you, if someone is giving you something as compensation, then in this case no consideration is required. Next, moving to the third part, if it is a promise made in writing and signed by the person to be charged therewith or by his agent generally or specifically authorized in that behalf to pay wholly or in part a debt which the creditor might have enforced payment but for the law for the limitation of suits. So what happened in this case, that in the past you have done something for your friend or maybe any other person and they have not given you anything in exchange for that, and you also cannot ask them to give something in exchange for that because that has been time barred. Means its limitation period is over, right? So you cannot ask for that consideration again. So in that case, the time barred debt can be given or can be repaid by the same person without any consideration, because you have done something in the past. But that has to be done in writing and it has to be signed by the person. So in all these cases, although there is no consideration, still the agreement is a contract. Now there are explanations. See, the first is, nothing in this section shall affect the validity as between the donor and donee of any gift actually made. So in gift, is there any consideration, or do we give any prize in exchange for the thing we get? No. So in this case, the status of the donor and donee is in no way affected. The second explanation says, an agreement to which the consent of the promisor is freely given is not void merely because the consideration is inadequate. I have told in the previous video that consideration is important. It is not necessary how much consideration is important. Even if the consideration is inadequate, it is still valid. Like if I give you 1 kg of gold in exchange for 500 rupees, is the consideration adequate? Of course it is not. But is it invalid just because it is inadequate? No. But another thing it says, but the inadequacy of the consideration may be taken into account by the court in determining the question whether the consent of the promisor was freely given. But the court can take the amount or the adequacy of the consideration. But for what purpose? To know whether the consent was freely given or not. Like if someone intoxicates me and takes the gold for rupees 500, so in the next moment I realize that no, this is not a proper consideration, and I file a suit in the court. The court may take this into consideration that yes, he has given less consideration, so it might not be out of free consent. So this can be taken into consideration by the court only for the purpose of determining whether the consent of the promisor was freely given. But just because the consideration is inadequate, it does not imply that the consideration was invalid. So I think we are clear with this, but now let's sum it up together. So the first one is out of natural love and affection. The second one is past voluntary services. Then third one is promise to pay a time barred debt. Fourth one is gift. Fifth one is the creation of agency. This one you are going to read in section 185. So in agency, there is no consideration required by the agent. Okay. Now the sixth one is bailment. Bailment also we are going to read in the bailment part, which is in section 148. And the last one is charity. If someone is giving something in charity, but in that case we are not getting anything in exchange for that, so in that case also consideration is not necessary. Now we are going to discuss a few examples. You see, the first one is A promises for no consideration to give B rupees 1000. Now this is a void agreement, right? Because here the consideration for B is rupees 1000, but what is the consideration for A? Nothing, because he does not get anything from B. So consideration is very important for contract. But let us see another example where it says A for natural love and affection promises to give his son B rupees 1000. A puts his promise to B into writing and registers it. This is a contract. Even though there is no consideration given to the father, still it is a contract because it is out of natural love and affection. Now the third one is A finds B's purse and gives it to him. Now B promises to give rupees 50 to A. Now this is a contract. So this is a case of bailment actually. So A finds something, finds the purse and gives it to B. Now B is giving because it is a past service. Like it is a past service. For this he is giving that money to A. Now D, the illustration is A supports B's infant son. B promises to pay A's expenses in doing so. Now this is also a contract. So with this, I think we are clear with the consideration part. So for other videos, you can check my playlist. And till then, please keep on revising and take care of yourself. Bye bye.